Hey, so welcome back to the podcast. Check this out. From realtors to reality show, from doing videos on YouTube to being nominated for an Emmy, the stars of Renovation Rekindle, Susan and Paul Kadilak in the house. Welcome, you two. How's it going?
Good. What's going on, Tom?
Thank you. Thank you for having us, Tom.
I got crazy and hey, what's going on?
Yeah, Paul's always up here and I'm always down here.
But if you were both the same, one of you wouldn't be necessary.
Right.
Totally true.
So I actually wrote this down. From watching my YouTube channel to becoming a client to actually starting to do videos, like thank you for doing videos, to getting offered a show to an Emmy nomination. That was the plan all along, correct?
Oh, totally.
In my head.
This is what you wrote down, like when you were a fireman?
Yes, exactly. I'm still a fireman.
So, all right. So I think people need to get some context. Maybe they haven't seen the show. Maybe they haven't seen you guys on stage. You guys have just blown up the last couple of years. So, Susan, take us back to the beginning. How long have you been selling real estate? When did Crazy join? Didn't you stop selling houses for a while? Like, give us the story.
Yeah, so I got licensed in 2002, so this year's 20 years for me.
Congrats.
Which, yeah, goes by fast. I sound old saying that out loud, but
How old are you?
40.
Oh,
I started when I was 20.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the other realtors made fun of me. They were like, "You're not even old enough to drink." I was like, "I'm not here to drink.
Yeah.
I'm here to sell,
I'm here to sell
I'm here to
houses.
sell houses. I don't need to drink." But
Isn't
I
that
found
funny?
out.
But that's total realtor speak.
Yeah.
You're not even old enough to drink. It's the first thing that comes out of
Right.
people's mouth.
And then I
You're
look
like,
around and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that's what they do here."
they're
But
like, we all drink.
right. And I was like, "Okay, well, I'll be fine."
Why did you go into real estate versus anything else?
So I was a young mom and I had a daughter and I needed to, make money. My cousin was a realtor up in Canada and I was trying to figure out what to do. And, he said, "Well, how long does it take you to get your real estate license? You have to go to school for 6 months." I said, "I think it's a weekend."
Yeah.
and he said,
Little
"Well, what's it
different
going
from
to cost you?" He
Canada.
goes, "It's going to cost you $1,000." I said, "I think it's like 200. And he said, "If you don't go home and get your real estate license, you're an idiot." And I said, "Okay."
Yeah.
So I went home and got my real estate license. And that's kind of how I got into it.
Mm-hmm.
And then also my family, my grandfather was a builder. My dad was a builder.
Yeah.
So I was also into that. And I got licensed as a builder when I was 23, built my first house when I was 23, my first spec house. So I kind of jumped in early just because, I kind of had to.
Yeah.
So I was selling real estate. I met Paul 15 years ago. And he was in sales.
15 glorious years ago.
15 amazing.
Amazing years ago is what she was saying.
Yes. Wow. Is there an anniversary happening right now in front of me? What's
We
going
have
on
no
here?
idea.
We actually don't even
Anniversary date is.
when we actually got married, we don't even know. Neither one of us could actually tell you the day. We got married. It was a JOP. It was a 10-minute ceremony.
Right.
She went and did open houses after, and I took the boys.
Yeah.
Yes.
He said, "I have a very nice 10-minute thing for you." I said, "Can you make it
Yeah.
like 3
we
minutes?
cut
I
it
have
down a
things to
little
do."
bit?
I got a listing appointment.
Yeah, I don't have time for this.
Welcome to the true hustle of real estate right there.
I'm like, this is a Sunday and I'm busy.
Yes. Okay. So Paul, what about your backstory? Like how did you, first of all, like, what were you doing before this? Were you always in housing? You fireman? Like, what's the deal?
Well, so when I was a young tadpole, probably 16 at the time, I was like, I wanted to be a firefighter. So I started doing the processes to get on the department. So
Yeah.
at 18, I started taking the test. So it took me 12 years to actually get on. I tested
Really?
Yeah, they offer a police test 1 year and a fire the other. So that's the way they do it where we are. And
So just to be clear, to stay on the list, you have to continuously take the test.
Right.
Because someone pointed out that when it says it, he says it took him 12 years. It makes
Yeah.
it sound like
Yeah.
he maybe didn't
Right.
pass.
Well, that
but
was,
that's not-
that's what was going through my head. So
Right,
thanks
Most
for
people-
clarifying. Yes,
I was like,
yes.
we should probably clarify that.
Like at a certain point, maybe you should stop taking the test.
Right. No. So you take the test, you're on the list. If you get moved to the next level, then they move you on. And if you don't, then you have to go take the test again. To
Right.
stay
The list
on
expires.
the list.
So you have to continually take
Right.
it to do it. So I had to keep taking the test.
So how many times did you take the test before you
It
actually
was-
passed?
Oh, no, I passed every time. I was in the
Okay.
mid to high 90s every
Okay.
time.
All right.
It's a
So
very
yeah.
sought after job. A lot of guys
Okay.
want
Right.
that job,
All right. For sure. For sure.
So I knew that I wanted a feel good job. I wanted a job my kids would be proud of me. I wanted to help people. That's what I like to do. And I kept taking the test. Finally, 12 years I get on. But prior to me just getting on, I was doing sales prior to that. I like to call it kitchen design is really what I was in. But it was,
Selling
but I was selling appliances.
Okay.
But I
I
was
was like,
crushing it, by
dishwashing.
the way, selling appliances. Yeah,
Yeah, I can see
crushing
that.
it.
Like,
Literally.
look at these faucets.
Yeah,
Right?
people like selling appliances.
He made faucets fun. I can
Yeah.
already tell.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, that's why we won a video for our cola video that we did.
How did you two meet?
We met through a mutual friend.
Yeah.
So you can tell that story.
So I
feel like we're going deep here all of a sudden.
Oh, yeah. We're in it now. We're in the
guys,
story.
We're getting real right now.
Yeah.
Everybody with us? We're getting real. This is the real shit.
Emmy nominated. Next question. First time you had sex. Okay, no, I'm sorry. Go, keep going. Introduction. How'd you guys get
with
connected?
a person or? So
yes, this is the show.
Yes.
So I was at the time I was going through. I had been married previously. Things didn't work out, so forth. Susan was in the same boat. So a mutual friend of ours is like, hey, you got to meet this girl. She says to me, she's like you. She got a kid like you. I have a daughter as well. She's like, you got to, blah, blah, blah. I said, I'm good. I got enough of my own problems to deal with. I was like, no, I'm good. So there was a Christmas party she was going to. I was like, she's like, you going? I was like, yeah. Maybe I'll see you guys there. So I go to the party. Susan walks in with a friend, and I was like, oh, I'm going to go talk to her.
First thing he does is show me his MySpace account.
And my first.
He's like, are you on my?
Look at my team. Was like, yeah.
He's like,
and
you on
my
my
first friend, Tom,
yes.
on MySpace.
Yes.
He's like, you on MySpace? I was like, I'm not. No.
You're like, no, I sell houses.
Right.
Like,
Right.
what are you talking about?
Right.
I'm a mom.
Exactly.
So yeah, I did. I showed her my. I'm like, you haven't heard of MySpace? Like what? And I showed her my MySpace page, and then the next day, I didn't want to wait to call her because I was like, I'm not waiting. And my buddy's like, dude, don't call her. I'm like, dude, eat shit. I'm calling her. Oh, can we swear?
Yes.
Can you guys beep that up?
You just did. Yeah. Yes.
I'm sorry. This is family friendly. But
Yes.
everybody shit, so it's fine.
It's all right. I just asked when you guys had sex for the first time.
That's
so like,
true.
it couldn't be
So
that family.
there's
friendly.
no more boundaries.
People have the
Yes.
there's
No
no
boundaries.
boundaries.
No.
So so Susan and I went the next day. I called her and I went to her house. She actually made me chicken parm, and we've been together since. And the funny part is when I pulled up to her house, she had a dump truck in her driveway.
And you were like,
and I
endless love.
Well, I was like,
you're like,
I go, whose dump truck is that? And she's like, it's mine. And I was like, huh. I was like, I gotta explore this a little bit more, see what this is all about.
Every girl should have a dump truck.
Okay, for the person that's like not watching the video, that's just listening right now, when I think of you, I don't think dump truck, but I've heard you tell the story before. So why did you have a dump truck?
Because I was doing construction. I was building houses. I was doing projects, and so I was selling real estate and doing construction jobs, and we needed a dump truck. So
which almost killed me, by the way, several times. The dump
but
truck.
it didn't.
Yeah.
But it didn't. You're still here.
No, it's a dump truck. You drive it, and it
was
violently shake
old.
like a wheel fell off of the thing in the middle of the highway. And
It is a dump truck.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm talking about the wheel fell
and,
off. I was like, wow.
This is ghetto dump truck?
I mean, kind of.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
But
so-
that's gone now.
Yeah.
Right.
This could be the most subdued I've ever seen your husband.
Oh.
I know.
he's a
I'm
little
building
like-
up. It's still
Okay,
we're
okay.
building-
he's
we're
gonna
building up.
unleash
We're building
any
up.
minute.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm ready. I'm just letting you know.
I've been working on my material, Tom.
So fast forward to, you guys become clients, somehow you guys you figured this out because you got a team.
Yeah.
But you have renovations also, and you're home building. That's busy.
Yeah.
Right. And then kids and life and all like. So I'm going to ask you first, like before we get into all the nitty gritty, how do you guys manage your time between filming and running your team and everything else? You guys, I mean, most would argue you have way too much going on.
We have the WWTW, like what would Tom do?
Yes.
WWTD. that's
Something
it,
like
Tom
that,
do,
yes.
Whatever.
Yes.
I obviously can't spell this early.
Yes.
Because I'm like, how does Tom manage his time? He's got so much going. People
Yeah.
say that to you all the time.
Yes.
You guys are busy.
Right.
They say to us,
Yeah.
you guys are
Right.
busy. And I hate when people say that because I'm like, everybody's busy. Like,
Not everybody's busy at our level though. So you guys got some hacks, or is it just as simple as just get it in the schedule and go?
Yeah, I mean, we just kind of like, it's like every day, it's like, what do we have this week?
Yeah.
We need to prioritize. Do the
Yeah.
kids have any games?
Yep.
Who's got what? And we just figure it out and go. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like if we have to stop and think about it, we'll never get anything done. So we
Right.
just, it's like, what's most important? What do we have to prioritize?
Yep.
What do the kids need? What do we need to do? And just go.
I mean, filming and stuff when we first started the show,
Right.
it was out of control because
Right.
Yeah,
we
we
were filming
filmed a
everything
lot.
because we were still trying to get the format down of what we were
Right.
trying to do.
Right.
So we were like, we can't miss anything. We got
Yeah.
and our producer,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
gonna film. So we were filming. We were filming
Yeah.
a ton. I mean, we had a ton of footage to go through. So,
But I mean, I think you just kind of see the long view of, okay, what
Yeah.
are we trying
Yeah.
to do? And sometimes you're working more, sometimes you're home more. Just figure it out.
Do you think being a single mom gave you that grittiness, or did you have that someplace else? Like, did that?
I mean, I'm
did
one
you
of
always
6
have
kids.
it? Yeah, I gotcha.
I'm the
There's
old-
no cookies in the cookie jar. Like,
Oh no! I tell my
yeah,
kids
yeah.
that all the
Yeah.
time. I'm like, if there were cookies in my house when I was a kid, if you didn't dive in and be the first one
Right.
to grab it, you were getting none.
Right. Yeah.
So it's a
She's
little
a
bit.
problem
If you're
solver.
not first, you're last.
Exactly.
Thank you, Bobby.
She's a
Right?
problem solver. That's what she does. She just like goes. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not the. We always talk about the no. People
Yeah.
that just say no or they
Yeah.
no. We say turn the no to oh. You got to make that shift and change. Oh,
let me think about
so
that. Okay, yeah,
no
yeah, I
to,
like that.
What's the
Yeah.
what's the problem?
Yeah.
There's a problem.
Yeah.
Now, what are the options
Yeah.
to solve that problem?
Yeah.
Because in building, when we build and stuff too, it's like if we go to a client like, sorry, we can't get hardwood floors.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
not
we
a
don't
good
do
answer.
that.
They
No,
won't
no,
do
no,
it,
no,
right?
Yeah,
You're
no, we want hardwood floors,
Right,
right? Like,
right.
yeah.
We come and say we can't get this, but here's what we can get. So
Right.
we don't go to them until we have a solution.
Right.
So if you compartmentalize your life in chunks, and by the way, I liked how you answered first, like, well, what do the kids have? Like, what are the sports? Like, you went family first, which a lot like the question was open. You could have just said, my business life is bing, 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 bing. So I appreciate that. If you compartmentalize your time, how much time is it on? And I'm gonna take family out of it and just do business for a
Okay.
sec. How much time of it is in the real estate team, actually listing and selling real estate, filming the show, which means you're in the middle of a renovation, but it's probably longer than you would normally do because you're filming.
Right.
Totally.
Right. So
Yeah.
like, and beyond like the personal life, just those major chunks of your running a big team, right? Selling houses, renovating property. You guys are building your own personal house right now.
We are.
That's always not stressful.
Yeah.
How much time are you spending in a typical day or week on all 4 of those big blocks?
I mean,
18 minutes probably. Maybe
It
19.
depends- it depends
20
on
if you're
the-
pushing it. It
depends on the
People
day.
got to get their shit together.
Right. Hurry up, people. Yes.
we're filming at least one full day a week.
Yeah.
And then, the businesses are, it depends. It could be one day is all real estate. One
Right.
day is all construction. It could
Yeah.
be that the day is split. It could
Yep.
be a lot of times I'm, still going through it on the weekends because we're still kind of in the building phase. So, so we just, it's, again, it just goes back to priority. Like this week we're filming, this is what's coming up. This
Yeah.
is what we need to do.
We work 7
And-
days a week. I mean, there's no,
Yeah, we work a lot.
we work every day.
I don't know an
it's all-
entrepreneur that doesn't.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Right.
It's
I mean,
like-
and it goes like we
Yeah.
get time off and we're with our families and, family
Right.
dinners and all the fun and kids and sports and life. But every entrepreneur is working 7 days a week.
Right.
I don't care. And if they say they aren't, they're full of
They're
shit.
full of it. Yep,
Yeah.
I agree.
So how do you then like give us your management team? Is there a management team for the renovation business, for the construction business? Is there a management team for the sales business, or am I staring at them both?
Yeah, you're kind of staring at them.
So how do you
So-
what's the process to keep it all together?
So on the construction side, I'll say we have an amazing team.
Yeah.
Our crews have been
Yeah.
with us for a long time.
Yeah.
So to be like,
let me just add to that. All of our people that work with us are amazing. Even office, because they're all they're all kind of like they all do a little bit of something in all the businesses.
1,000%.
right, and everybody's
1,000%.
everybody's kind of in and knowing
Yeah.
what we're doing. So just like an example on the construction side, we had one project. I went by, I'm talking to the guys and I said, oh, this other project is ready for this. And they said, oh, it's already in process because one of the other guys already knew
Yeah.
it had to be done.
Yeah.
And they, so the team is very fluid in that way. So if someone sees something, everyone's communicating, I
Yeah.
went by this project.
Yeah.
This needs to be done. And sometimes I'm the last to hear about it. Like, oh, we already took care of that. And in that way, we have amazing people who,
Yeah.
who kind of see the whole picture and see what we're trying to do. And, really having good people, I think, is super important.
So some would argue right now, especially the last 24 months, whether you were building new construction or you were doing renovation or fixing flips, like talent was hard to come by.
Yeah.
And everybody's prices went up, right? Not just the cost of goods, but cost of employees, cost of teammates,
Yeah.
like everything skyrocketed.
Yeah.
How are you guys able to maintain people? Like how were you able to keep them? Because they're
I
just
mean-
too easy to be picked off.
Well, I would say loyalty. Like
Yeah.
we had some projects where, maybe sometimes our guys were a little bit backed up and we would have clients who would say, can we just get someone else in here? And we said, no,
Yeah.
these are our guys.
Yeah.
This is, this is our crew and everybody's busy right now.
Yeah.
And we weren't willing to sacrifice quality to maybe get a little bit more time when we knew, who knows who we could have got or,
Right.
what. So,
Right.
We won't cut the standards down
Right.
and,
Yeah.
and take a guess at it to
Yeah.
try to get it done. We
Right.
want it to be done a certain way. People see the Instagram, they see all that stuff,
Right.
and that's what they want when they call us, and that's
Right.
what the video is really
Right.
done for us.
And we
Yeah.
can't give on that.
Right,
Yeah.
right. They want that they want to be on the Instagram page. They're like, is my kitchen going to be on Instagram? They ask that
Oh,
stuff.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And the video has helped push that, I think, along with
Absolutely.
the trust of clients and everything. And I mean, you've been touting video for, I don't even know how long
Ever.
now. Several years.
2-3 years now.
Yeah.
2-3 years.
At least 6 months.
I was going to say
6 months. Yeah.
Well, that's what everybody feels like when you
Yes.
say it. They're like, I feel like people in the room sometimes look like, he's talking about video. Like, he talks about video every single time, but
Only
nobody's
since 2007. yes.
But I mean, even like, the video, like Susan is very, like the way she manages, she draws a lot of loyalty from everybody. If I was managing, they'd probably all quit.
You think?
I mean,
I think they'd be entertained.
they would be entertained, but they'd be like, is this guy going to pay me this week? Like, does he even know this payroll? Like,
Susan, have we paid anybody?
Right.
yeah.
So you guys have such a yin and yang, right, to your relationship. And I think for a lot of people listening, like, you're so different, but you guys have so much in common. How do you make it work? Like, not just relationship, but like relationship, business. Like, I see you guys on the show, and I literally see you at times like rolling your eyes, and I don't know if that's like sorry, like, is that intentional? Like, do you see? I mean,
I see it all the
and
time.
he is just like, right? So you're like, okay, right?
I'm just doing what everyone else is thinking.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're ridiculous.
Yes. But lovable and a craftsman, like like really does insanely great work. Do you think that some people like look at you, Paul, like you're too crazy, too much fun, or do people just find like, he's my guy? Like, she's my, you know what I mean? Like attracts like, or like we fall in love with these characters, right?
Yeah.
So I think people are attracted to our dynamic because you can't, if Susan and I were both off the charts, goofy, nobody, they'd be like, oh, they're entertaining, but I don't want them building my house.
Right.
What are they going to put, a couple sticks together? You know what I mean? So like you have to have the serious piece of that
Yes.
too.
And
so
you have
like,
to have the end result, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Right. You got to produce results.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
And I mean, her designing it, like, it's crazy because I look at what she does and I still haven't met somebody similar to her where it's like she can encompass like, what's your renovation going to cost? How much is it going to increase your home value?
Yep.
Is it worth doing the renovation?
Right.
Because what's your long-term plan? You're going to be here for 5 years? You're going to be here for 2 years? You're going to be here for 10? Is this your, I always say forever for now house?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like, what are those pieces? And those digging into those questions. So it's like when we meet clients, like, well, what's the problem why we're here? I hate my kitchen. Well, everybody hates their kitchen because it's ugly, right?
Yeah.
Well, why do you hate your kitchen?
Yeah.
What else? Well, me and my husband can't be in here at the same time and cook. Okay, now we're digging into it a little bit more, right?
Right.
So it's
Right.
really
So
listening.
This is a space thing, and now how we're going to reimagine this. And yes,
Exactly.
Did you guys always have that in you? Did that come over time? Like,
I've always done design as part of our construction projects.
Yeah.
And it's funny because we had a project years ago we got a little bit of attention for, and he went back to the clients and he said, why did you hire us? And they said, well, because we knew that you weren't going to just build what was on the plan. And I said, well, who builds what's on the plan? Why would you do that?
Yeah.
if you say that to my wife, she'd be like, we did have a plan. We haven't looked at that in a while.
Right,
Yes.
exactly.
I mean, I know that exact feeling. Yeah.
I say
Move that wall anyway.
Once the frame goes up, I say burn the plans and do what the house feels. So so I feel like I've always done that in projects.
Yeah.
I just felt like it was just a natural part of as you're building.
Right.
She's
you're
a problem
only doing
solver.
this once.
She tackles things whether she's naive and like failing. Like she doesn't know what failing is. Like she just does. Like she's like, we're doing this and that's what we're doing. And that draws from the rest of the team. Like, they see what she's putting together and like getting in place. She doesn't even, the thought doesn't come into her head like, we might be okay at this. It's like, nope, this is what we're doing, blah, 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 blah. Like even the videos, when we hired our videographer, he's like, do you guys want to talk about this? She's like, nope, we're going to do it. And you're going to look at it and you're going to edit it because if I have to look at it, it's not going to go out.
Oh my God, I would delete them all.
Right. But don't you think that's just a leadership quality, right? Like, in any leadership, I don't care if it's your family, if it's the military, it's firefighting, it's real estate, it's development, like someone has to say, this is what we're doing.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
Like there's always going to be an obstacle. There's always going to be a problem. And this is what we're doing anyway.
Right.
No, she's the captain of the ship.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm on the front, like, with my arms spread out, the songs playing, like Titanic. You know what I mean?
God, please, if you're listening, please watch.
But, I mean,
The visual is worth it.
I have a much different view on things from being a firefighter.
Yeah.
It's like I see a lot of really bad things, and when people call, they're not in a happy moment, right?
Yeah.
These are like some of the worst points in their life that they come across that we show up on, right? So it's like seeing people, it really humbles you to things that you have or come across, or people you meet, So I think I always look at like when people are getting real amped up and they're stressed about, the project or the real, was like, nobody's dying, okay? Everything can be fixed.
Right.
Nobody's dying. And when you cut it down to something as simple as that, people can kind of go, okay, you know.
And that way, like real estate, construction, it's all very similar. These are like the most stressful, you know, for some reason we were like, okay, what are the most stressful periods in people's lives? Let's work on that.
Let's work on both of those.
Both.
Yeah, home disruption, let's do it. Whether they're moving.
And we'll throw in fire.
Yes,
right?
yes. So like I think, you know, when you say to people find us too crazy, I think one thing that the video has done is that they know what they're getting before they call. Right. They know that they're going to see some video of Paul doing something weird in their house, bringing shaker bananas.
Right.
You know, they
is the gift.
Right.
And this podcast is brought to you by bananas.
Bananas. That's bananas.
That's it.
Where could you go to get tuned up, to get your mindset right, to get an unlimited number of marketing and lead generation strategies to win even more listings? The answer, my friend, is obvious. The Success Summit in Dallas, August 23rd through the 25th. If you want to be surrounded by thousands of like-minded individuals that are not buying into the noise, but instead staying mentally tough and most importantly, earning the money that they desire, then you need to join us. So to make your reservation, just go to tomferry.com/summit. Make sure you put in the promo code SUMMIT15, that's SUMMIT15, to get 15% off your ticket. So make your reservation and let's get back to the show. So switch gears.
Okay.
For a lot of people, television is out of reach, right?
But it's not.
But creating content isn't.
No.
So what advice do you guys have, like looking back, you know, throughout this whole experience? What would you have done differently, or what would you recommend to the person that's listening right now?
The biggest thing that I think I take away from what we've done is we stay in our lane. And what I mean by that is we focus on what we do. We're not looking at the noise, you know. It's like if you are like, what are they doing over there? Your focus shifts, and there's already enough. It's already hard enough to focus with your phone going off all day and everything else, right? And then you're paying attention to what this person's doing, and what this person said on like there's people that aren't going to like your videos. There's a club, someone that's probably like, that guy's an idiot, you know, talking about, you know, Paul's a moron club, whatever, and that's fine. I would probably join that club. You know what I mean? If they sent me a thing.
Paul's a moron. Please join my community.
Can I be the president? Hi, can I be the president? You know? So it's like people, you have to learn to like the one thing the video will help you do, and the Firehouse has actually helped me, just you really learn about you, right? Yeah. There's things you learn about yourself, you're like, oh, like the guy's like, you're so OCD about this. And I'm like, I guess I am, you know? Like, and I was like, you know, so it's like, it's you learn about you and you just accept things that you do, and it's not, you know, it's not something that you're like okay with it. You know what I mean? Like, I have OCD. Yeah. You know, so you laugh about it with yourself. So it's like, those are the type of things you really learn. You're studying yourself so much, like when you do that. You know what I mean? Like, how do you be a better you? Like when we were first filming, she's like, you were spicy that day. And I was like, no, I wasn't, you know? And then I see the video.
What do you mean?
Right, exactly.
You're
I'm like, just go watch the video again. Just let me know what you think.
And I would watch the video back. And when you're in those moments, you're not recognizing that you're being spicy, right? You're just reacting to something.
Sure.
And then you see it fluently across. You're like, oh yeah, I was being spicy that, you know, but so you make these, you know, adjustments to how you respond and react, and situations that come up again, you'll be different about that in a good way, you know? So it's really, you know, even the podcast and all that kind of stuff, I listen back to them, not because I want to hear the sound of my own voice over and over, because I want to hear.
But kinda.
I mean, come on.
Listen to that voice. You know, I got family from Revere, so I'm like, I'm in like seventh heaven. Yeah. So Paul said, stay in your lane.
Yep. So I think tactically that means just being authentic, right? So when people see what we're putting out and then they call us, it makes sense. What we put out, that's what they get when they call. Yeah. And you know, I think trying to figure out what works for you. What kind of videos do you want to put out? Does what you're putting out jive with what they get when they call you? Yeah. Right? Because I think that's super important to be authentic, because people want to know who they're doing business with before they call. And they want to know what they're getting. And you're going to attract your right clients that way by putting that out there. Yeah. Because, you know, to your point, there are probably some people who, you know, think it's, you know, we're too crazy or, you know, whatever. They're not going to call us. Right. Yeah. So we're not going to. That's going to, you know, it's almost kind of a filtering where we're not wasting time.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you for not calling us. Yes. I agree.
Exactly.
I agree.
The customer's not always right. And what I mean by that.
What I mean by that
is like, you know, you like the customer, the client, and you have to get along, right?
Yes.
Because it is a very emotional process.
Yes.
Like this is like, you're raising family here. There's memories. They've lived in this house for so long. The renovations can change. Like I mean, I can't even tell you how humbling it is when we do these reveals. Like we're like literally sitting in there with them. They can smell the new hardwood and they haven't seen it. Like I lock them out, Tom. I put a lockbox on. I literally changed the lock in a garage. I'm like, you can't go in here. And I put plywood walls inside the house because they were still living there. I'm like, you're not seeing anything. And I'd be back there making noise and I'd be like, hey, it looks great in here. He's like, here it is. I like but they like that. They want to feel relaxed.
But you have that build up to something that's going to surprise them, and capturing those moments on video. We have a client, and I'm sorry I'm spacing on your name, so I apologize. But it is so beautiful what she does. She hires a professional photographer to go in the first day the family's settled in the house and do beautiful photos of them, and then that's what she posts as her just sold card.
That's awesome.
It's the story of the new family, the story of the individual that buys that home. And they're like, people are calling like, we want to work with you. And can we also get the photos?
Right.
Right? Like, but that's something that it wasn't like a gimmick. She was like, I just sold these people their house.
Right.
Like, this was an emotional experience. What a way to capture that experience. Now that authentic thing, stay in your lane,
it's genuine,
has become like something that people are asking for, right? So it's beautiful. Yeah. What do you say to the person that's like, I don't know what my lane is? Like I'm a generalist. I just kind of do a lot of everything.
You can't be good at everything. That's what we've learned building houses, right? Susan and I are sitting here hammering every nail and running every wire. We're orchestrating all that, but you can't be good at everything. But what you can be good at is being resourceful, right? So our producer, he says to us so one of the things we talked about when the show started, he's like, how do you want to do demo? He's like, you got to be like shooting out of a cannon this. And I was like, I want to play the triangle. And he was like, what? I'm like, I want to hit the triangle and say it's demo time. And he goes, I love it. It's hilarious. And so
it's so funny because I was thinking like Phil Jackson and the Chicago Bulls, the triangle. I was like, how's he going to run that? I like plays at work is right behind me. I'm like, that's all I think.
So now I have 500 triangles at my house.
So you're like, ding, ding, ding.
It's like, it's demo time, ding. And then like machines are crushing houses and stuff, behind us.
Yeah.
So it's like, but I said to him, I need a shirt for that. And I left the meeting that we were in. I came back and I had a shirt made that said it's demo time. And he goes, you two are some of the best producers I've ever worked with. You guys just get it done. You guys just like, we need this. This is what we do. So we're very resourceful in a sense of like, if we can't find it, we will find someone who can help us with it or build it. If it doesn't work, we'll build it. If it doesn't, design everything.
So he says, don't be a generalist.
So I would say if you don't know what your lane is, what your message is, I would say read your own reviews. What do your clients say about you, right? And like ask your friends.
Your real reviews, right?
Yeah,
like go on Google, Zillow, whatever, and like what are people talking about when they're talking about you? Yeah.
Exactly, right?
Interesting.
Because I think that's going to give you a reflection on, what do they see when they come in front of you?
Yeah.
Feedback loop.
Yeah, and then also, some people are more introverted. They want to do more informational stuff. Yeah. Some people are not introverted at all, and they.
You working on that?
I'm trying.
Okay,
it's a
therapy, man. Therapy.
Step 23.
Four.
Yeah.
4
million.
Yeah, 4.
Some people want to wear, dress up and do weird things.
Yeah.
Whatever your style is, just like embrace it and go. I mean.
It should be fun. I mean, it's a fun process. Buying a house, it should be fun.
It shouldn't be a different person who shows up. What you put out there, it should be the same. It should be the same company, the same person that shows up.
It's like pasta, Tom, al dente. You got to be, you got to be authentic.
You're speaking my love language right now.
It's got to be
exactly how I make my pasta for my lovely wife. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, your touting the video really has changed dramatically things for us in a business sense.
Yes.
So that's what I want to say. Like we it is humbling that we got nominated for an Emmy. Like we never even, first of all, making a video first, right? You're like, okay, this is crazy to make a video. Then it's like, because the first video.
Exactly. Yes.
Susan, why am I doing this?
Right.
This is the kitchen.
Yeah.
You're like, you can't, you're like, what do I do with my hand? You
Right.
feel weird. Yep. And then, the more you do it, you kind of make some adjustments and you get better at it.
Right.
And, our producer's great. All our guys are great. They really are. Yeah. And it's just like thinking about, you guys got to make video to an Emmy nomination is just crazy, right? It's bananas. You know what I mean?
It is bananas.
It is.
You just close that loop.
Yeah.
Well, we're all these little, the ecosystem of Tom Ferry's Wood is probably the most incredible thing about everything that you do. And I want to say it's really,
the people.
It
right?
is
it's
the
all
people.
the relationships and it's all the, like even what we're going to go do next, which is like, it takes a bunch of the best agents and everyone's going to go, here's my marketing, here's my presentations, here's how I present stuff. And like just that alone.
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring, baby. That's bananas.
We're in this ecosystem and we're all little tom poles swimming around, to each other. It's like,
okay, he may have gone a little too far.
What do you got? What do you got? I got marketing. What do you got? So it's like,
I know how to hire salespeople. Let's go.
That's it. You gotta, that should be part of your marketing, Tom. Like, become a tom pole. Join the team.
Can we just take that and we're just going to edit that? That's going to be all of my ads going forward. I want to be a tom pole.
He came up with that this morning. He was like, I got it. I know what I'm going to talk to Tom about. I'm
Tom, it's like a lightning bolt of idiot hits me every day at some point during the day. And it's like, that's it. And I just blurt it out because I think out loud.
And how do I not roll my eyes? I mean, I have what else can I do?
You just go, that just is what it is. Okay. So does anybody actually watch TV anymore?
So that's another great question. I will let Susan answer that.
Or who watches TV? Like who calls you guys?
So, well,
nobody watches TV. That's the thing. It's all a convenience factor now, right? So it's the behavior of people and what they do. That's what Susan tracks. She's like, this.
So the show aired locally on TV in New England where we are, but it's also on an app because for that very reason, because we have, all of our social media and everyone's like, where can I see the show? Yeah. So we have an app where you can download. It has a whole first season, all 10 episodes, because that's how people watch now. They don't want to sit every Friday night and wait for TGIF and
Steve Urkel. Did I do that?
There's a new episode coming out. They want to sit down, watch the whole season, and call it a day. So
it's true. It's just the behaviors. Like she tracks the behaviors like of what people are doing, just like what you do. It's like people did watch TV. Now the stream, it's all a convenience factor, right? Yes. So the convenience makes people change their behavior, right?
So did you build an app in order to do this? Did the show producers say we got to do this? Like you'd also mentioned like lessons. We were talking sort of off camera last night about like lessons you guys had learned along the way, right? Sort of knowing what you know now, what we would have done from some other friends in the ecosystem that have shows.
Yes.
So did they build the app? Did you guys build the app? Who came up with that concept?
So we kind of collectively, because of our social media audience, people saying, where can I see it? Where can I see it? And we all kind of, talked about it and said, we need to have a way where people, where people can see it. So just kind of collectively as a group, we all said, this is probably the best way to do it, where it's accessible. It can be convenient. It's in all like the app stores. So it's, we just wanted to make it accessible so that it was easy.
It's the show plus your social. So you guys like basically built like almost like a web portal just for everything that you guys are doing.
So that the app only has season 1. It has some bonus content, so it doesn't have all the social. So social content is on socials.
It's the
a lot
driver,
of stuff.
Yeah, to that.
That was kind of the beginning of it, and then this was kind of the next.
How many downloads on the app?
It's a great
7,
question.
and they're all on my product. I have a MacBook, I have 2 iPads, my iPhone. So
do you know though?
I don't know. I'd have to talk to the team.
I mean, like when somebody signs up, we get like notified. It's like that somebody signed up. But I mean, it's always been I mean, I don't know. It's like you look at just like you said behaviors. Like look at Blockbuster video, right? I used to go there and find a movie. Now Netflix killed Blockbuster, right? So it's that streaming convenience, right? Now you don't have to drive to the store. Now you just push a button and you can watch it, right? Then it's that pattern. So like the TV piece of that for us was really, it's an iconic thing, right? It's like a stepping stone. It's like so it's like from social to stream, right? So it's like that path, right? Yeah. So it's like
and a lot of people still do watch TV. I mean, but people want the convenience. They don't want to have to be at a certain time every week or recording it or have to be in front of their TV. People want it portable. They want to be able to see it anywhere.
100%.
And that's pretty much how everyone has watched us until now with our social content. It's on Facebook, it's on YouTube, it's on Instagram. So, I mean, I feel like that's kind of where people have seen us.
Do you think that is the bigger driver of growth then the social, or is the bigger driver of growth TV, or is it hard to, determine between the blend?
I would say it's hard to determine right now just because the show's so new. But I mean, social has definitely, it's been a huge driver of growth for us. I mean, we saw that pretty much immediately after the first year that we were putting out video. Our business went up 60%, and it was pretty. And our videos were terrible.
Say that again, please.
So after the first year of putting out horrible videos, our business went up 60%.
Yeah,
60. If everybody.
But we're not talking 2020, right?
No.
What year
We're
was
talking
this?
2017. Yeah.
Okay, so just for context, 2020, 2021. No, you've been doing video for a while now.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Yeah.
So, and looking back, like, someone's going to go to your YouTube channel, they're going to go to your Instagram page, which I strongly recommend. And what I loved is when I was there, it's like you could see the evolution of like even on my channel, like I go back to like 2000, my first channel, 2007, and it was like, if there was a microphone, I was doing this. Okay, well,
Tom, I was watching. I was studying some of yours.
Horrible.
I was studying. You have like all this background noise.
Oh,
you have the marker on the board.
I was doing shows live on my sales floor. Hey, look, and like people are walking by and like waving, and I'm like, I just didn't care.
Right.
I mean, I
was testing shit.
I will say,
so you gotta, and that's the thing. Like, you just got to go for it. And that's why when we hired our videographer, he said, "Do we want to sit down and plan this out?" And I was like, no, because we'll just keep thinking about it. Let's just go out, shoot some stuff, figure it out. We'll adjust as we go. And that's kind of what we've done.
I mean, Tom, I said to Susan all the time, right? I'm not a licensed agent on purpose for things we do. And, I've watched you speak, and I always say I've never seen someone captivate people like you do. The way you have it thought out to where it's like, okay, I know I got to get them up, get the energy going. When somebody's sitting there for more than 15, 20 minutes, you start to see the head bobs.
Turn to your neighbor,
right? High five your buddy, have a you break, you hit those breaks.
He lives for those breaks.
It's my OCD in me is I see how you do, and it's incredible that how well you have mastered that craft and how you know how to keep people in tune. So it's like sometimes you have speakers on, and these people are amazing, like at what they do, and then I'm like listening to it, and I'm like, I'm head nodding because I'm like, I'm used to Tom's like shooting through the moon, like we're doing this, that,
tell
and the
stories,
movement.
Those are all learned skills, right?
Right.
You guys have learned on TV and video. Those are all learned skills.
Holding court is what we say. Right. You got to hold court, right?
And it's the same idea. If someone's, I don't know how to do that, I'm nervous about doing that. It's all stuff that, you can figure out. Of all people, I mean, I think I've told you, at one point I was like, I'm never doing video. I hate doing video. I am not. I don't want to be on video, but
I will.
And the real estate guys say, give her television. Like, sure.
I mean, put him next to her.
Right.
I mean, it'll all be fine.
It's also like I'm extra that way with her too, because this is a true statement here. One thing that I love about our relationship is that, I could be sitting in the bedroom at night talking with her, and I'll do dumb stuff, and she will laugh with me and at me. And like those moments for me are like some of the best moments I have with her.
I agree.
And when she's like crying, laughing at things I'm doing. So like when I'm on the videos, it's also like she is not as comfortable and I am. So it's like if I can make her more comfortable by being the way that I am and take some of that heat off her where she doesn't feel like, my husband is just, he's an idiot. Let him be the idiot, because she's beautiful. She's polished. She's the leader. You know what I mean? She runs the ship. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm over the,
court jester in the corner.
We just started doing a bunch of real estate videos, and he's got all these characters. And he's like, and he says, why don't you dress up as a character? I was like, you are the character. I am not dressing up as a character.
I will be Susan. Thank you very much.
That's what I want people to look at. Look at some of our stuff. If you think you don't look good, just look at what I am doing. Literally, I'm saying this so that they feel comfortable to try to do it. And I challenge everyone in the ecosystem to make their video, and they got to do a spoof of Tom. That's your first video is a spoof of Tom. Like, give your best Tom Ferry impression, whatever it is. So you're not even focusing on real estate. It's just getting out of the gate. They don't even know how to do that. They don't. How do I do it? Make a Tom Ferry spoof, right?
Can we have that be the Instagram reel, please? I'm talking to my editing team right now. All right, so last question. What about the real estate team? Right? I mean, we talked a lot of renovation, a lot of the two of you, TV, social.
Yeah.
How's the team doing? When did you put it together? What's it look like? And how does it all fit into everything else you're doing here?
Yeah, so we've been really working on building the construction company and building that over the past couple of years. And I was in real estate for a while. I took a break when I had our older son. I kind of jumped back in. I got to this point. I'm selling, 50 houses.
I took over breastfeeding, so she could get, she could get going.
See, so supportive. So supportive.
You got to do what you got to do,
So I'm at this point. I'm, selling 50 plus houses a year by myself. So we kind of started the team, and it's funny because the videos were supposed to be for real estate, and I said, well, I don't want to mess up the real estate company. Let's practice on the construction company. And the construction company kind of took off. So we've been pretty focused on that, but we're starting to build the team now. We've got 7 agents. And we're just, we're in very much growth mode. With
Do you drive an automatic or a stick? This is the times we live in now. You got to shift and shift quick. Don't grind the gear. You got to shift fast. Things change. It's like books, right? I would say books come out, they're a guide. because a new book comes out that has changes, right?
Yes.
So it's like everything evolves, it changes. That's
Always.
the thing. That is what we live in now, and that's what that information has done.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was a kid going to school, they'd be like, "You have to go to college. If you don't go to college, you're
Never
not
get a
gonna
good
be-"
job.
Right.
Never make any money.
This is the thing now.
How'd
College,
that work out?
well, college is now online, right? If you had
Right.
to get information before, I had to go to Encyclopedia Britannica or go get my
Right.
Dewey Decimal System out and
Yes.
go pull a card catalog and be like, "Oh, I'm going to get this book." Who
We're
wants
like-
to do
we're
that?
Like, hey Siri.
Right.
Bang.
That's
Yeah.
the thing.
That's what our kids
Wikipedia,
do.
Right.
It's at your
Of course.
fingertips. I mean,
Right.
one day I was like, "What's the damn Wi-Fi password?" My son grabs the remote and he's like, "What's the Wi-Fi password?" And it pops up on the screen. I'm like, "Oh, "You got to be kidding me!" So it's like that's
Welcome
what
to
these
2022. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
But it's like the information is
Yeah.
there now, right?
Yeah.
So I think the big thing for us is like, I like Daniel Pink. I'm sure you've heard.
Yeah, of course.
Guy's incredible.
Of course.
It's like his view on things. Like the information's there. You got to be transparent with your clients.
Right.
So the transparency, the honesty, like that's what they
Yeah.
want. They want a tall,
Yes.
heaping cup of transparent tea.
Yeah. Yes.
That's what I want to give them. You know, when the water's murky, nobody wants to dip their toe in it.
No.
But when they can see,
No.
they're like, "I'm good. Let's jump in."
Certainty, right? People
Yeah.
want certainty, and we provide that through being the knowledge broker, being the educator, running a great business. So the real estate team is newer then.
It's a newer team, and of course, we added a bunch of agents through the. It was like right, and then the pandemic happened, so it was a little
Perfect
bit.
timing.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
great timing. So it's a little bit crazy there for at the beginning, but now everybody's starting to pick up steam. Everybody's doing well. We have a great team, and everybody's pretty.
Which how many people
engaged
put
and-
their foot on the gas when the pandemic hit on social media, right? She says,
Oh, yeah.
as soon as
yeah.
it hit, she goes,
Right.
"Guys, we're
Yeah.
full throttle right
Double,
now.
Right.
yeah.
Full throttle,
Right.
double
Right.
down, right?
Right. Right,
Put it
right,
all
right.
in. All the chips are pushed."
Where is everyone? Everyone's online.
Yeah.
This is where everyone is.
Right. And especially like in the Massachusetts area, right? Like where, the pandemic hit hard, or like
Yeah.
New York City were hit hard.
Totally.
And people were there was so much uncertainty that
Yeah.
that was my whole sort of plea to the industry was be the voice.
Right.
Right. And if you're not going to be the voice of like, hey, here's what's going on, and you can move forward, at least just reach out to every client and say, how are you?
Right.
How you guys doing? You guys okay? Like
Yeah.
we talked about it yesterday in the mastermind, the people that did that, like the unintended consequences, it wasn't about more referrals. It was
Right.
about like, there's so much uncertainty. Let's just be good to people.
Right.
Like doing the right thing is always the right thing, right?
Totally.
So doing it on social, making the phone calls, like it certainly paid off.
One of the biggest sales tools that people probably don't even think about is hope is a powerful thing.
Oh yeah.
When there's belief, there's hope. I mean, I
Right.
see Susan do it with the clients when they have this house and they just don't know what to do with it. And they're
Right.
just like, we have this hope of having everybody wants to have a beautiful home. We always say
Right.
everybody deserves to have a home,
Yeah.
right? They do,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's-
Love where you live, right?
Exactly. And it's
Yeah.
like the fact that they change people's lives in that sense of like when you're
Right.
sitting there, Tom, I mean,
Right.
really, when we're in the room with them, the blindfolds are on, they can smell the new wood and everything, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, amped up.
It's
and
like
then
Christmas.
Right.
I draw
Right.
it out a little bit more, just a few more seconds.
Yeah,
They're like,
yeah.
you guys ready to see your house? Like, yes. I'm like, are you sure we can take a break? No, we want to, So then we're like, take those blindfolds
This is
off.
made for television, right?
I
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as they go
I mean,
like this
come on.
and they pull that blindfold
Right.
off, and you just hear the emotion in the room,
The cries,
it's
right.
It's very
Right.
like it's a powerful
Yeah.
60 seconds that
Yeah.
you sit there and you can feel that from them, because it's like they finally feel like they made it, like that they've done something something they wanted.
Paul, it makes me think that that people should reimagine like the closing table, or reimagining the first opening of the door when it's your home.
Yeah.
Like if you really thought like that moment, I go back to like the Zillow commercial from years ago when it was the military couple, right? The husband's
Yes.
clearly in fatigues. He's
Yeah.
like, baby, I got to go. Like he's like, assuming he's going into war. They're looking for the house. Okay, we found the one. Close the laptop, and like they open the door with the real estate agent, and who's sitting there, right? The husband in full fatigues jumps up, and it's just like that. That's such an
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm watching a real estate portal commercial,
Yeah.
and I'm crying.
Yeah.
Like this was incredible.
Right.
But that's
It's powerful.
That's what a
It really
reveal
is.
is. And I think for the
Yeah.
person listening right now, here's your keys. Okay, congratulations. Here's a bottle of champagne.
Right.
Right. Like there is a way to make that experience like so much more memorable. And you talk about an emotional anchor to
Yeah.
you, right? As the professional, like that's powerful.
Yeah, and this is like I tell the agents all the time, like you're not selling houses. That's not what you're doing.
Yeah.
No.
This is people are spending the most money they've ever spent in their life. They're trusting you.
Yeah.
They've saved their entire life.
Right. Like this is like a moment in their life. And, and they're trusting you to guide them through that. And it's a big, anyone who comes in and says, I want to get into real estate because I like houses. I'm like, oh, that's not what this business
good
is.
luck.
I like porn, dude, but I'm not getting into it. I just want to throw that out there. I'm not really a porn.
Does that get edited out into the TV shows like that guy? Yeah.
No, but I'm saying like people say that out there.
But if you could, Paul. But if you could get into it.
But that's what it's like when someone says, I'm going, it's like, I just decided I'm going to get into porn. Like, dude, you can't just jump into real, like, what do you, like when people are like, I decided I need a career change. I'm going to get into real estate. Do you have any idea what you're getting into, bro? Do you even know what you're talking about? You know what I mean? Like, you think real estate's easy because you got your license in a weekend? That's the easiest thing you do.
He's trying to get off the hook right now for this metaphor.
Why does Susan roll her eyes all the time?
Yes.
Why? I have no idea.
I'm torn in between because I absolutely love the comedy and it just makes me
go.
die laughing. And then I look at you and I'm like, sorry.
No.
Sorry, not sorry.
I'm used to it.
Yeah.
But that's what makes Susan so awesome is that she laughs at the stuff too. She's not like, you're gross, stop it. She lets me be me. And that's what I've always wanted is like, when I was previously married, it was like, I felt like walking on eggshells a lot in this and after.
Yeah,
I was like,
fun.
I don't want to do that. And I told her that when I met her. And she's never restricted me. And I've always tried to push her in that direction that she wants. She's like, this is what we're doing. I'm like, okay. Yeah. All right, cool. All right. Like,
I'm behind you all the way. Man.
Sometimes people will say, "Well, like, do you try to get him to tone that down?" I'm like, I have nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
I'm like, if it gets too crazy, I just step away.
Tom, I played the harmonica on the elevator yesterday.
He did.
In the hotel.
I love that. There was the elevator music.
He always carries some crazy thing with him.
There was no elevator. I walked in. There's this woman in a robe with bags, and I go, "How you guys doing?" They're all like, good. I was like, there's no elevator music? I was like, I can help with that. And I pulled up my harmonica and I was like, and then they all just started laughing. And I told them, I go, I actually used to review elevator rides on YouTube. That was my job before. I was like,
this is constant. It is constant.
You gotta look at my time. I used to review elevator music on YouTube.
Elevator rides, floor 2 to 3.
Somebody has that show. Tyrus, we need to search for that. Like whoever has that show is a legend.
Yes.
Okay.
That's it.
We actually have to wrap this up, but I feel like if there was wine here, we could have just gone all night and just kept jamming on this.
Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, I want to say thank you to Tom.
Yes,
I mean, and, Susan, you have encouraged Susan, which in turn has also encouraged me at what we do. We never in a million years, if you said, you guys are going to get nominated for an that's a good one.
Right.
You know, like,
they love it when I hear you speak because I come back to the office. I'm like, guys, I have a great idea. We're going to do these 700 things by tomorrow.
Full of piss and
they're
vinegar.
like, please.
She doesn't even
please
wait.
Don't go to any more Tom Ferry seminars. Please don't do that.
She doesn't even. Well, it's funny because some of the agents like, I don't know about Tom, blah blah blah, and then now they're drawing into the system.
Yes.
They're becoming they're becoming little Tom Poles. They're following the process, right?
I'm not sure if that one's going to land.
I don't know. I don't know.
We're going to have to work on that one.
I told Tom when I first met him, I think I said, you need to have like a spring event and call it Ferry Blossom. Spring to the market. You know, like.
Okay, for my marketing team, no.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's just going to keep pitching until one
sticks. I know. Okay.
It's all good. Tom's got really important stuff too, guys. That's why I'm going to say, hey, thank you guys for watching. If you like this channel, please make sure you hit the subscribe button below and like Tom's videos. If you don't, you're a fool. Go sell some houses, do the right thing, love your neighbor, have your pet spayed or neutered, and we'll see you next time. Thank you very much.
We're out.